Hey everybody, Marcos Villegas here with the trainer of Sergey Kovalev, Mr. John David Jackson, and you guys have a date with one of the pound for pound best. I know your guy is one of them too, but Andre Ward is an interesting puzzle. You guys have this pay-per-view coming up with him. When you look at the puzzle that is Andre Ward and the fights he's had in the past, and you being a fighter as well, how do you really dissect an opponent like that and put a plan in place for Sergey?
Well, you dissect him slowly but surely. You have to. Andre is a very good boxer, very good boxer. Any fighter that was able to go through the amateur boxing program undefeated, that's a hell of a statement because, you know, there's a lot of bad decisions in amateur boxing. So for him to be able to go undefeated and win a gold medal and then turn pro and clean the 168-pound division out, speaks volumes for him as a fighter. Now he's moving up to 178. He's not a smaller fighter, believe it or not, because when he was an amateur, he was 178 and he came down. So he was the bigger fighter at 168, really, after, you know, aged and got his weight back up. But now he's finding a man that's comparably the same weight as him, maybe a little bit bigger. So the advantages are gone now. And he's not a big puncher. Very good boxer, not a big puncher. Can he get Sergey's respect? Can he hit Sergey with a good shot and make Sergey kind of say, okay, let me not go in so crazy and try to knock this guy out? There's going to be a lot of things that are going to be answered from both sides in this fight. But our thing is, can we solve the riddle that is Andre Ward? And I believe that we can.
Do you have any questions about your fighter that you haven't gotten answered and you want answered coming into this fight?
Not in this particular fight, because the style to beat Sergey I've watched in the ring before, and it's not Andre's style. There's two, believe it or not, there's two styles that can beat Sergey, but Ward doesn't really have either style. Now, he's evasive, and he's slick at what he does, and he's good. Don't get me wrong, but he lacks the power to really get Sergey's respect. Now he might clip Sergey with a shot and get his attention, but it's not one punch knockout power. Can he outbox Sergey? Yeah, most definitely probably could. But for 12 hard rounds, that's a big task, and he has to be able to be able to box where he needs to box Sergey. He has to take risk. He has to be able to stay in the pocket just a little bit and make Sergey pay. You can't always hold, grab, and run away, and you know, use the jab and try to win on points. You got to make sure you got to pull up punishment, have Sergey absorb a little bit of punishment in the fight. You can't just think you're going to just outbox him, because Sergey proved with Bernard he can box. He proved he can box. He can go 12 rounds at a good pace. So, you know, everyone's saying what Sergey's doing against Andre. No, what Andre's doing against Sergey. He has to be able to survive himself. Can he be evasive for 12 rounds without getting clipped with a good shot? He's been dropped by Boone, and another fighter dropped him early in his career, and they had him hurt. So if Sergey catches him with a nice, clean shot, let's see what happens if he gets up. What happens?
How do you see it playing out in your mind? Do you already mentally visualize this fight and how Sergey is going to approach someone like Andre when you see tape of Andre or when you see fights of him in person?
Well, he's going to approach him like there's all fighters in a very business-like manner. Can he, you know, can we solve the riddle of Andre Ward? That's going to be the biggest thing that we're facing. I believe we can. It's a great challenge and it's a great fight, and one that the fans deserve to see. But we have to definitely be on top of our game to do what no one else has done, and that's solve the riddle that is Andre Ward.
As a trainer, how big of a burden is that to kind of put a game plan together for Sergey for someone like Andre Ward? You did it once with Hopkins, which is a tricky puzzle, you know, but for Ward, a guy who's undefeated and is in his prime right now.
Prime. Let me answer that one for you. Now, see, his prime, and believe it or not, his prime just passed him. From 27 to 32, those were his best years. Well, those years were spent in court and whatever else. He only had 3 fights. So the best years of his boxing career are over. But he's still okay, but he's on the downward slide. And if you watch his fight, he's not the same fighter that he once was before he had the litigation and the shoulder injury and all those things. He's not the same fighter. He's a little bit slower of foot, a little bit slower of hand. Still good, but we're getting him at the best time.
Yeah,
it's not prime Andre Ward. You know, he's past that point. So I'm glad we're getting him where we're getting him. You know.
To you, when do you feel that he got to that point where he wasn't in his prime? When did you see that slip, in your opinion?
Well, I watched the last 2 fights, and I've seen he's not as quick as he once was. He's not the reflexes are a little bit slower, not much. So I'm not trying to say he's slow.
Yeah.
Just a tad bit. It's not the one what he wants, but he's not that fresh young kid that came out the Olympics and was just overwhelming everybody. You know, he's a grown man now. He's getting up in age, and You begin to see not so much wear and tear on his body, but he's had the injury, and he's had the mental part of the boxing that he had to deal with, the promoters, and so that's wear and tear on him also. So we're catching him at the right time. He's still rusty. The fights that he have aren't going to really prepare him for the fight he's going to have against Sergey. That's a tough task if you're asking to, ask Bernard or anybody else. He looks easy, but when you get in the ring, it's not. And he's smarter than people give him credit for as a boxer. So we're catching Andre at the right time, actually.
For you, what would a victory mean over Andre Ward to get something like that on your resume as a trainer?
Trainer of the year.
Yeah, you think so? I think it would be merited, right?
I'm due. Come on. I've been running up like 3 years in a row. Come on, give me a break.
Well, you've been doing a good job. Give me a quick update on Chris Algieri. How is he doing, and when is he coming back?
Chris had a knee operation after the Spence fight. He hurt the knee real bad during the fight, but he never cried about it.
Yeah.
And after the fight, he had an operation, and the operation went well. And he's mending really good. He was back in the gym this week, and we're taking it, slow because he still has his. I hate to say it, but his thing with his promoter, that he's not happy with that at all. So I guess once that gets resolved, then he'll look for the next fight. Hopefully he'll be. I'm saying towards the end of the year he might have a fight, but the knee. About a month left to go with the knee before it's completely healed up, and that was a bad injury for him.
All right, John. Well, if you guys get this win, for sure, I think you will get the nod for Trainer of the Year because that would be a huge win. This guy will be in the corner of Sergey Kovalev. Takes on Andre Ward coming up in November on pay-per-view.